Good evening, everyone. So, I hope you all are doing well and working hard for your goals. So, your Nitin Bhaiya is back with another video. It is on linked list. So, you must be aware that what linked list is, but I'll start from the beginning. So, many of us having a question that if you have an array, then why we are using linked list over it? So, the reason is we are using linked list because linked list works on dynamic memory allocation. So in my previous video, I have told that what is dynamic and static memory allocation. But for the safety side, I'll discuss brief in this video too. That suppose you have a container. Okay, you have a container in which you have to store 10 liters of oil. So what you will do, you'll you will ask for a container of capacity 10 liters. Okay, but what if there is a condition that you are not aware that how much oil you have to take. Okay, so then what will you do in that condition? In that condition you have to use linked list. Okay, no, linked list is not used for capturing oil, but I'm just taking an example. If you don't know the real size of a container, then you have to go with linked list. So I hope I have cleared the difference between linked list and array. So let me write something for you. So as we all know, in case of array, we have to specify a size for an array. Okay. Suppose the name of my array is ARR and the initial size is 3. But in case of linked list, it works on dynamic memory allocation. Alright. We don't have to specify a size for our linked list. So that's the first difference between linked list and array. The second difference is that uh, the insertion and deletion in linked list is much optimized. Is easier than array. What does it mean? It means that suppose you have a room. Okay, just a second. Suppose you have a room. Okay, and in this room there can be 10 person reside at a time, and the room is fully packed with with 10 persons. So what if you want an other person to reside in this room? So what will be the condition? The first condition will be that the person should adjust anyhow in this room with the 10 people, or or increase the size of this room. You must be thinking what I'm saying. Yeah, you cannot increase the size of your room. Okay, so what you will do, you'll have a panel whose size will not be fixed, and in that panel you can put those 11 persons to reside. Okay, so this panel is called as linked list, and this room is an array. So the size of an array is fixed. You cannot insert directly an element inside an array. But in the case of linked list, with the reference of head, you can traverse through any position and can insert a node at any point. Okay, that's the second difference between linked list and array. So that's all about the pros of using linked list. Okay, so I have told you the pros of using linked list over array. And now I'm going to tell you what's the cons of using linked list. So okay, so the first drawback of using linked list is that you cannot access any particular element at a time. What does it mean? It means we can access the third element of our array directly, but in the case of linked list you cannot access the exact indexed element at a time. Okay, it means you have to start from head and traverse till that element which you want to access. So that's the major drawback of using linked list. Okay, so let me write it for you. uh, you cannot access directly a particular element. Sorry, my bad. In a linked list. Okay, this is the first drawback. What's the second? The second drawback is that in linked list we use pointers. In linked list we use pointers. Pointers means a pointer called next. Okay, so now the real game begins. At what the linked list exactly is. Okay, suppose I have, so the property of linked list is that it is a linear data structure in which data elements are connected in the form of nodes. So what is a node? Suppose uh, first node, second node, third node, my drawing is bad, fourth node, and fifth node. Okay, these elements are connected. Sorry, these nodes are connected with the pointers. So this is our head node. In a node there are two parts. In a node there are two parts. The left part is contains the data of that node, and the right part contains the reference of the next node. That means a pointer. Okay, so it means that you all have must seen a train. In train, what's the thing which happens is that there is a main node, that is the engine, and the boxes or the compartments which are attached to it are the nodes. Okay, so the engine is that head node, and the different compartments, the different boxes are the nodes. So in between two nodes there is a connection which helps two compartment to get connected. Okay, so that connection is called as pointer, and the previous box of that train, the previous compartment of that train is connected with the next compartment. So next is assuming as a reference of the next node or the next compartment, and a node is comprises of two parts. The left part is the data part. Data part means every node will have a value. Okay, like suppose in train every compartment has a fixed number of people, so that is the data, and the right side of the compartment is used for the connection with the another compartment. So that's a node. It contains a data part, a pointer part, and a next part to refer the next node of that linked list. So the first node is head, and we have a pointer next which refers to the next node. So it's the brief of linked list. the brief of linked list is completed. So let's start with the another part. So uh, suppose you have to access the third node of this linked list. So what you will do, you'll simply start from the head and move till the third node. As I've told you earlier, in array you can directly access a particular element, but in linked list you cannot. You have to start from the beginning. Okay, so that's the property of linked list. The thing which I've discussed is singly linked list. Why we call it singly? Because we can only move in a forward direction, in a single direction, that is this. So we have another kind of linked list too, the doubly linked list. Okay, in this we have a linked list where we have two reference, that is next reference and previous reference. And this linked list contains three parts. This node will contain three parts. One part will contain the address of previous node. Second, the third part will contain the reference of next node, and the middle part will contain the data part. Okay, so that means you must get to know that in doubly linked list you can move from forward, you can move with forward, and you can move towards backward. That, and in this we have two nodes as default name. The first node is head node and the last node is tail node. Okay, suppose you have to get this node. So what you will do, you will simply start from head, and with the next pointer the head dot next will be this node. And that there's two ways to get this node. Okay, from head it was head dot next, and from tail it was tail dot next. Then again we'll start tail dot previous, then again tail dot previous, then again tail dot previous. So we have two ways to get a particular node in doubly linked list. So this is singly linked list, and second one is doubly linked list. We have one more called circular linked list. Let me erase this for you. Fine. So circular linked list. In this linked list, suppose I have a linked list. So what do you mean by circular? Circular means they are in interconnected order. It means that I am your friend and I'm also his friend too. That means my friend is one, and one says my friend is two, and two says my friend is both one and three. So that will be a condition of circular. Okay, so that's called circular linked list. That means uh, th- they are pointing to the same, which was as singly linked list, but there is a turning point. Sorry. Forgive me. The tail is connected with the head. So there is a formation of loop. So that's the property of circular linked list. So you must be thinking that, Bhaiya, when will we get to know that we are coming into a condition of circular linked list? Suppose you are traversing a linked list, and at one point, at one condition, you got to find that this node is repeating. So what does it mean? It means that it is a formation of circular linked list. So uh, I hope this video was helpful for you. In the next video I'll be discussing the concept of insertion and deletion in a linked list. Thank you very much. Jai Hind.